Get a blender, throw in some Bowie, some London After Midnight, some Lords of the New Church, a little Hedwig and the Angry Inch, pepper on some New York Dolls, add a heaping spoonful of originality, and you get these terrible people sitting next to me. Now, I know I've used that adage before, but I just feel it's very apt. But then again, I might have pissed them all off right now, so we'll see. This is an amazing group, glam goth band, called EXPERIMENT PERILOUS. So let's go ahead and dissect them, shall we? Thank you very much for joining us here on The Darkest Hours.
Thank you for having us.
All right, so I guess first things first, introductions. Who the hell are you and what do you do?
My name is Joe, play bass.
My name is Stooge, I play drums.
HART, I play guitar.
Edward, vocals.
Very nice, very nice, very nice. So, how did this morbid monstrosity begin?
Originally, I started the band with two former bandmates from a prior band I used to be involved in. The direction was
Bleak.
interestingly bleak, charmingly strange, if you will, but it wasn't going the direction I wanted it to. So it started making me feel somewhat depressed, heartbroken, if you will. So I brought Joe in because I saw Joe play with another band. He was in an LA punk rock band, which is great. You know, I saw his bass playing was okay, but his passion was such a fucking direct form of expression. I had to bring this guy involved. So I got Joe involved, and later on we got we made the decision together to get rid of the drummer and the keyboardist I was working with at the time. So I was left thinking, how am I going to piece the band together again? There were so many ideas I wanted to express, so much feeling I needed to project. I looked toward what I never even noticed before, my friends. Stooge was in a great rock and roll band called Deathrock Sinatra, a great, amazing band, which is still around, but Stooge was drumming for this band, and I asked him, hey, you know, sit in with us for a little bit. So originally it started off just as a sit-in situation. HART, I've always known HART to be the most amazing drummer I've ever met. So originally I asked HART to sit in with me, so he sat in with us. And a good friend of ours, Adrian, the guitarist for Deathrock Sinatra, played guitar for a little bit, which is great, it was good, but it was still missing that total raw power element. HART also played guitar in a really great band called the LA City Heathens, later turned into the Black Mask. But I noticed their style was more straight, direct garage rock, but this guy was like hitting these pedals left and right, doing all this sound. It reminded me of something like of an early Daniel Ash meets Blixa from, you know, the Bad Seeds, Nick Cave.
Very refreshing.
Yeah, very fucking amazingly refreshing. So I asked HART, you know, hey, play with us. But he played originally drums, but then he moved up to guitar. That's when we brought Stooge in. And the first fucking time we played a show together, which was at the Dragonfly, was fucking beyond words. I mean, literally, it was just a true form, the most purest expression of like, yeah, you know, this is what we're about. This is how I feel, and this is what you're seeing. You dig it, you love it, or not. And it turned out ever since then, I mean, it was unstoppable. We just kept rolling, kept writing, and the songs we were writing were beginning to feel more therapeutic. So suddenly, officially, I think in 2006?
Yeah, about 2007.
About 2006, EXPERIMENT PERILOUS was literally born.
And I'm so glad that you were born. You've got that raw element in spades, and you just seem so tight as a collective group. When you're writing a song, what do you try to convey lyrically?
Well, lyrically, when I write a piece, it's about the life experience. So literally it has everything to do with love, lust, death, sorrow, joy, sex, everything that has to do with living. As ugly as life can be sometimes, it's so beautiful.
Entertaining, actually.
It's so beautiful. I mean, it's so entertaining, like Joe said. But at the same time, sometimes you come across a situation where you can't really express it in life. So in art, music, you know, whatever form you choose to do, whether it be poetry, you know, paintings, theater, you have that outlet to express it. So for me, I found a way to convey everything as a more productive as opposed to destructive element. And if it wasn't for them, I'd probably be the saddest guy in the world. Probably would be the saddest guy in the world.
Well said. Well, like I said, you guys are amazing. The lyrics are really haunting and beautiful and entertaining, and it's a real roller coaster ride, you know, listening to your songs. But your undead shows are just so full of energy. Makes me wonder, in a perfect world, what would your ultimate show be? Would it be full of theatrics and sets and stuff, or would it be just that raw energy, bare bones type of thing?
Most likely, it would be both. It would have that theater, it would have that excitement, and it would be very bare bones in the sense that you would hear the drumming, and you would hear the guitar sound by itself, and you hear the bass, and you hear the vocals, and it would be a mixture of both. When we play live, we play mostly for the crowd, but we play mainly because we created these songs.
It's an experience.
I think we bring a lot of theater and theatricals with the music too. We don't need a lot of lights and a lot of, you know, show stuff. We try and create a headspace where you're creating the theater in your head with the music and the lyrics. And I think right now we kind of try to stick to that, you know, kind of bare bones show where we don't need to have a lot of candles and lights, and we like to play dark, and you know, we like to be with the people right in front. And that's how we thrive on the energy. Well, we really do thrive. You know, if there's 2 people there that are really into it, we'll be really into it. If there's 50 people there that are really into it, we'll be really into it. You know, that's how we play.
Definitely.
Oh, and I saw you guys at the CIA. That was something that I noticed was, you know, as soon as you took the stage and as soon as the music kicked, I was just sucked right into what you guys were about. And I can't wait to hear more from you, which brings me to my next question. When is the CD coming out? I am dying for this.
We've been working on that for some time. We've got an EP out called All That Glitters Must Bleed. We've got a DVD out called Prayers in the Dark. But we want to, you can get these items at our shows. The only place to get this stuff is at our live shows. But as a collective, we're so in tune with what we're doing, and we're writing so much new material right now. We worked recently, we practiced for this show. We wrote a new song that just blew our minds. So there's so many new songs we want to work, so we're really focusing on a full-length album, probably somewhere mid-2009, to be realistically speaking, somewhere mid-2009. But demos will be flowing left and right anytime you can grab them. So as Joe once said, if you're there, if you can grab it, grab it.
Very nice, and I want all I can because you guys are incredible. Now there's that whole spider web internet thingamabob out there. So where can the corpses at home dig you up at?
MySpace? I don't know the exact address.
Experiment Perilous, myspace.com.
Awesome. Do we have a website?
We did, but we got rid of it because MySpace is more accessible to the world.
And it offers more of an opportunity to load up all the media that you need to load up with, rather than having to pay for someone for a website, which is
yeah. And the good thing about the prior website we had, as good as it was just pretty much, you have to take the time to go to it. You can put links in every site you like, but the cool thing about MySpace, which I personally really find appealing, is it's accessible to the world.
Absolutely, and it's definitely brought the whole world and artistic community, the dark alternative world, you know, is really starting to come together because of that, which is a wonderful thing. Another question, what mark would you like to leave on this giant dark alternative world of ours?
I think that's an answer for each individual guy. Mine would simply be, I want to leave a blood stain, literally, a blood stain where it was all about the music, the art, straight, pure honesty, raw power at its best, where you can never regret, ever. That's mine.
Very nice.
Hearts?
I think it'd be nice to be a band where you cannot label us as one type of music or one genre, where we can be a band that goes beyond any kind of label. In a different style, where we can play a glam song, or we can play a punk song, or we can play a metal song, or and bring it all together, kind of like in the way Jane's Addiction did, or bands like that, where you don't have one particular style and you kind of mold your own style. And we try and create soundscapes in a way that you can picture the music. You can make your own picture for it and just kind of get lost in the music. And that's why I hope we go.
You're definitely on that direction, that's
Larry?
for sure.
Well, I think the band is heading in the right direction, and the mark I think that I would like to see us leave is a very eclectic, very broad sounding, and all-inclusive type of band, where nothing is shot down, everything is tried, and on my part, I can be as creative as possible in the drums, and put it all together and see what happens.
Awesome.
And one of the things that I like about playing music with these guys is we've created something, as Hart said, where there is no label. I mean, if I was to say that there is a label for us, it's more of a sonic dark wave, you know, where
Right.
it is a darker version of what music can be, but it's very sonic, where it could be echoed, and it's not set, and it could be a 2-minute song, a 1-minute song, or it could be a 5 to 8-minute song, but it's no matter what, you will hear an amalgamation of different sounds, and no matter what, at the end of the song, it creates that wave of like, wow, I have no idea what to say, what this sounds like, but it sounds really great, and people will come back.
Awesome, awesome. Well, you guys are incredible, and I know you at home are sitting there going, come on, I want to hear them, I want to hear them. Well, coming up very, very soon, a very special undead performance from Experiment Perilous. But now, another video from some other band.